Welcome, all you powerful manifestors, to the AOM Art of Manifestation channel. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'm Manifestation Life Coach Sterling Meyer. We've got a very exciting episode today with special guest Tom Paladino. Tom was inspired by scientists such as Nikola Tesla, began researching scalar energy, a form of healing energy found everywhere in the world, space, and universe, originating from the sun and the stars. Energies such as chi, prana, mana, etc. With scalar energy comes the era of quantum healing, and some of the benefits of quantum healing is the scalar light healing. And let's look at some of the benefits here. We've got sound and deeper sleep. We've got a calming effect, increased energy and vitality, improved mental clarity, decreased inflammation, improvement in skin conditions, and so many other benefits. So stay with us, because here you can learn how to get 15 days of free scalar light sessions. So let's discover more about this advanced healing modality. And we're going to welcome Tom. It's great to have you here with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sterling. Thanks for the invitation.
Excellent. So I have read so many testimonials on your website about people who've had extraordinary success with scalar light energy and healing. And it made me think, like, well, how long has this guy been doing this and getting these great results?
Right. For a long time, you're right. And hopefully the world will start taking note that this technology is of great benefit to mankind. That's really my driving theme today. I want to present this technology to the benefit of mankind.
Excellent. Okay, so it's been a while. Excellent. And I wanted to know a little bit about how you got interested or became interested. Like, I mean, you don't just every day wake up and go, hey, I want to investigate this thing called scalar light healing energy.
The journey's been a good 50 years now. I started reading about the great scientist Nikola Tesla when I was a youngster, and I was onto something. I realized he was working with scalar energy. It's a different form of energy, what some people might call zero-point energy. It's not electricity. These are scalar energy instruments behind me. They can do incredible things. What you cannot accomplish with electricity, you can easily accomplish with scalar energy. So this has been a 50-year journey for myself. Great scientists, notably Nikola Tesla, inspired me. And over the years, I've been able to perfect, to engineer instruments. That's the key to my work now. It's not theory, it's in practice. I can control a scalar wave with these instruments.
Wow. Okay. This is really fascinating to me, because being a manifestation life coach, I'm always teaching my clients that everything is energy. Everything is energy. And I know it's easy to kind of not know that, forget that, not realize it, whatever, because we live in such a physically dense world that we're constantly being sort of sucked into that illusion, if you will, that all there is what you can see, touch, and feel. But the truth of the matter is it's all about energy. So I think that with something like this, and maybe even with something that I do, and I'm a healthy skeptic. I mean, would you agree? Are you a healthy skeptic?
I am a skeptic until the science proves otherwise. Sure.
Right. So there's got to be some concrete proof. And I think that a lot of people may feel that way. So when we're talking about something that you can't touch, you can't feel, like energy, and then you go, oh yeah, we can, do this or that. We can just move this mountain. We can just create magic and miracles, and we can heal ourselves, with energy. People start to get raise an eyebrow. And so being a healthy skeptic, as you have been, and I'm kind of speaking to those out there that might be finding this like sort of new information. So this is for you guys that are just going, come on, is this for real? And being a healthy skeptic, what would you say to them? How would you bridge that gap?
Right. Well, that's a good point. How do I bridge that gap? With science, with engineered devices, and then with results. I'm going to give the audience a for instance. This is a scalar energy instrument, once again, behind me. You cannot see the energy, but it's on. But you can see its manifestation. You can see the before and after results. I'll show you. I'm holding in my hand a fluorescent tube. It's in its factory packaging. This tube comes alive when I place it close to the instrument. It illuminates under the force field of the instrument. It's not plugged in. Now, why? Because there's an animating force. So that's the science behind this instrument. It's broadcasting scalar energy. You might call that the manifestation energy. Again, here's another experiment. In its factory packaging, when I place this close to the instrument, it animates. Why? Because there's so much scalar energy, so much of that 0 point energy coming off of that it fills the environment. I can illuminate objects. Now, if I can do that with an object, then by way of chakras or by way of a brain or a mind balancing, I can balance the mind and I can balance the 7 chakras. So this is a scientific method to balance the brain waves, to call in what some people might call the quantum field, or to call in the consciousness. If this instrument can send energy out and illuminate light bulbs, why can't it illuminate my mind? It does.
Wow. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. That's really interesting about the light bulb and how it illuminates when it comes in contact with this energy. It kind of is proof that there's something there that, you may not be able to see with the naked eye, but nevertheless exists. Nevertheless is really, really powerful too. So when we talk about these experiences that people have, is there some stories and testimonials that you can share with us today about some of the extraordinary results you've gotten?
When I'm working with these instruments, I work with people by way of their photograph. This is quantum energy. It's not a physical treatment. It's an informational treatment. I'm going to hold up a photograph of a clinic. These are the participants at the Om Prakash Clinic in Delhi, India. I've been working with people in Delhi, India by way of their photograph. And in so doing, this instrument is able to detect the HIV virus and fragment, remove, obliterate the HIV virus. Now, the results are stellar. Over 5,000 people have been treated with their photograph. And people have a follow-up PCR test. This is one of the follow-up PCR tests. And the test result is negative, no viral load for HIV. So that's one of the testimonies, that's one of the proofs that there is something here, that this energy can be transmitted, can target a microbe, a virus, and then break down or fragment that virus. 5,000 people cannot be wrong.
Wow, this is really exciting. Now, let me get this straight. You can use scalar light energy to heal someone with just a photograph?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
Let me explain how this works.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my photographs as an example. I'm holding my photograph. Now, when I place my photograph in the quantum field, it receives that brilliant light. Everything is light. It's not a chemical process. So my photograph now is experiencing scalar light, the same amount of light that can illuminate a light bulb. So if I can illuminate a light bulb, then I can illuminate my chakras. I can illuminate my entire quantum field. Now, in practice, if I wanted to identify the Epstein-Barr virus and eradicate it, I would take a photograph of the Epstein-Barr virus. It's rather common. Most people have the Epstein-Barr virus. The Epstein-Barr virus has a signature, a scalar energy signature. If I place this photograph side by side, my photograph, there is a sharing of scalar information. Everything is information. So now the energy of the Epstein-Barr virus is being shared with my quantum field. It's a sharing of information. And in so doing, if I had the Epstein-Barr virus anywhere in my quantum field, my informational field, this instrument would identify Epstein-Barr virus and reduce it to a state of chaos, break down the molecular bonds of the Epstein-Barr virus.
Wow, this is really amazing how this works. I mean, it's so fascinating. Is some, what are some of the other things that it heals? You said HIV. What else?
For instance, I've perfected the technique with photographs because there's no guesswork. And hence, if I can take a photograph of a microbe, this is a photograph of herpes. A photograph is flawless. There's no mistake. If I place this photograph of the herpes virus inside my instrument, likewise, that signature will look for the herpes virus in me, in my quantum field, and destroy it. So the herpes virus, the energy field is side by side my energy field, the quantum field. These two quantum fields communicate. You do that all day long as a coach. And what you can do through positive reflection, through objective analysis, or just having a goal, I can do it through this intention or this system of consciousness. So a photograph of a microbe allows me to identify that microbe and then break it down, reduce it to a state of chaos.
My goodness. Wow, this is really amazing. And it sounds so revolutionary. I've got two questions for you. You can answer them in any order you wish. Number one, how long does it take for the healing process to occur and be complete? And then also, is there anything that it can't work on as far as healing goes?
This process, this what I call the pathogenic cleanse, it only takes a split second to reduce, to bring to chaos or break down the molecular bonds of a germ, a microbe. So the process is instantaneous. The healing curve depends upon a lot of factors: diet, disposition, and existing mental and physical health. Now, I have perfected this technique for microbes. Why? There's no guesswork. Whatever photograph of a microbe I place in that instrument, the instrument will destroy, eradicate that microbe. I have discovered the easy way to address microbial disease. I think eventually the world will recognize this is the easy way, the cure, the remedy, call it what you will, for microbial infection. But I have to let the world make that judgment. I cannot. So I've perfected this technique for microbes. Now, I've not perfected it for other diseases, ailments, medical conditions. I believe in the future, somebody, either I will or somebody will develop techniques to address other types of illnesses. Now, these are quantum, these are informational illnesses. I don't work with chemicals. This is not a biochemical process. All of my work is informational, but still quite valid and effective.
Wow. Okay. So it's just, I understand what you're saying about you've got to support the healing process,
Yes.
right? So you're saying it will depend, I guess the results will depend on how much you're working to help the process of healing. You're not working against it. You're not tearing your body down while it's trying to heal itself through scalar light energy. And you support that with, like you said, mind, body, spirit.
Yes.
Then you're going to rapidly increase
right.
the healing process, right? So
exactly. We have to participate in the healing. That's correct. But consider how simple this is. There are no in-person sessions. You simply email me a photograph. I do all the work. You simply just enjoy and accept the healing. Live a sensible lifestyle. I have people from around the world that send us photographs now. I just demonstrated how we're receiving photographs from India. Over 5,000 people from an HIV clinic testified that they feel better after being treated with scalar energy.
wow, that's incredible. Do you have any other stories? I love hearing these stories. Anything else you want to share? Another illness that we haven't even talked about yet?
Yeah, for instance, we're able to work with people with Lyme disease, caused by a spirochete. And we're able to identify that spirochete by way of a photograph and eradicate that spirochete. So we've had great success even with Lyme disease. Other types of diseases, all types of microbial diseases. People have come to us with tuberculosis. Some people have come to us with hepatitis, different viral diseases. In the past, I was working with people throughout Africa who are still suffering from malaria. Malaria is common in some parts of the world. It's a protozoan. We can break down that molecular structure of malaria. And in so doing, the protozoan, and so doing that protozoan ceases to exist. Lyme disease is caused by the spirochete, Borrelia burgdorferi. This is a bacterium. If I place that spirochete, a photograph of that spirochete side by side my photograph, the two energy fields share. There's a sharing of information. Now that placement is now sharing that spirochete, the information of that spirochete, with my quantum field. Again, it's not a chemical process. And by placing a photograph of the Lyme spirochete side by side my photograph, there's a sharing of information. That instrument then will look for the Lyme spirochete, Borrelia burgdorferi, inside my quantum field and destroy it. It's not a chemical process, it's information.
Incredible. Wow. So you're healing through energy, which makes like medication really obsolete. And as we all know, the problems with medication is not only is it hard on the body, but it comes oftentimes with side effects and things like that.
Right.
And I would assert that there's no side effects here.
That's right, because we're not working with the physical body and we're not working with chemicals. We're beyond the physical realm. We're working with information, the body's information field. Everybody has an aura, an information field, a spirit. I don't work with flesh and blood. I work with information or the energy, a force field. Call it a force field. And on account of the fact we work with force fields, there's no chemical consequence.
Wow. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So you're working with the energy, the essence of who you are,
Yes.
which is actually the thing that's in control over the body. You know, like I always say, I know it sounds morbid, but you can always tell a difference between somebody sleeping and a dead person because you can't see, you know, their energy, which really makes up so much of them. You can tell, you know, that they're not there when that energy is gone. So we are mostly energy, of course. And this is a wrapper. And so why would we work with the wrapper, right?
Right. Right. It's not fundamental. Our flesh and blood is not fundamental. Energy is fundamental.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. This is really exciting stuff. So you've been working with people all over the world, right? And so how do you do that? And how is it that, you know, somebody could work with you to try this out and really reap these incredible benefits?
The way we introduce this to people is by way of free sessions. Anybody can email us your photograph. We'll work with you for free for 15 days. Our website is scalarlight.com. Send your photograph in. You can include your family member with their permission and include your dog, your cat, your pets. I want to prove this science to people. I want to prove that there is a quantum body, an information field. I want to prove that I can access your quantum field through a photograph. Let me prove it to you. That's why we give away 15 days of sessions.
Okay, excellent. So what can people expect from 15 days? What would you say is a fair thing for them to look forward to?
You know, the first couple of days, your brain waves are going to be enhanced or recalibrated. You're going to sleep better. You'll have a deep sleep, an uninterrupted sleep. You'll start dreaming, probably much more vivid dream recall even. And then you also can experience a sense of calm and tranquility. If we can provide light to a photograph, then we should be able to provide light to your mind and your 7 chakras. So that's part of it. Then this microbial cleanse, you're going to see that your sinus is clear. Your palate is clean. You don't have that biofilm anymore in the morning when you experience this session. We remove that bacteria, that fungi. And in so doing, you're clean. You can breathe easier. Probably your mobility improves because you don't have the inflammation that you once had.
That's interesting. You know, I have a cousin that is, she just told me this morning she's going in for surgery. And I thought of her and I thought maybe she should do something like this for after surgery or before or something. What do you think about people who are dealing with surgeries?
Many people go on our program because they want to reduce the incidence of infection. You know, some hospitals you can easily pick up an infection, or post-operative. You know, you have an open wound and it could become infected. So there's so many applications for this new science, and thank you for seeing the big picture here. If what I say is true and accurate, and this is a fundamental control, if you will, fundamental energy that provides fundamental control over nature, you see the picture now, Sterling. You see what we can do with this technology.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really exciting. And what's wonderful is that you get, to try this out like a trial thing. You don't even have to be a believer. You just be open-minded enough to say, hey, maybe there's something to it. And the people watching could just try it out, see what happens. There's no harm done, everything to gain, nothing to lose, right?
Exactly. Thank you. Why? Again, working through the quantum field never makes a mistake. There is no mistake with energy. Energy's perfect. This is not a chemical process. You won't have a die-off. You won't have a chemical reaction. We never use any physical matter. So I can guarantee you it works, and I can guarantee you you'll feel the benefit without a negative side effect.
Wow, this is fantastic. Yes, this is what we want. We want these kind of advances. We're in such a forward-thinking period in life, and things are really revving up in terms of our modern civilization evolving and growing. This is just such a wonderful part of that, is the advancement in healing and making all of the old ways that were so archaic and sometimes problematic, let them go to the wayside and bring in the things that actually are more effective and healthier for our evolution and our growth. So this is really wonderful. Is there anything else that you would like to share in terms of what you're maybe working on, what's next, or anything that you have to offer?
There's another protocol that I want to mention, and we'll wrap it up. When I want to download a nutrient, again, I work with photographs. Photographs are perfect. There's no human interpretation. That's a photograph of riboflavin. If I place this photograph inside the instrument now is going to look at that structure of riboflavin and download it into me. If I place my photograph side by side, I now enjoy the energy, the intelligence of riboflavin. This is how I get my vitamins. This is how I achieve my nutritional balance, through light. I don't take a multivitamin. So I'm able to take over 300 photographs of nutrients, micronutrients, download those energetically into my quantum field, my energetic field. This is how I receive nutrition today.
Oh, that's incredible. I mean, I never even thought about that. Possibilities are endless with this technology, with these advancements. When working with energy, I just see it already, that there's so much to uncover here. And I love this. I'm going to have to try it myself because I have a B12 or B complex, problem with the absorption and things like that, absorbing certain vitamins, so this could be a great alternative to absorbing the vitamins that my body has a hard time for whatever reason absorbing. So I want to encourage all of you guys out there to try this. I mean, you've got 15 days of free Scalar Light energy healing. I mean, how exciting. How can you say no? This is fantastic. And this could open up a whole new way of life for you and your loved ones and everyone else. I mean, think about the endless possibilities here. So this has been such an honor having you here on the show, Tom. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll have to bring you back again sometime.
Please, please. Thank you for your time and effort. Let's change the world with this new technology. Free energy from the sun and the stars. Scalar energy will liberate the world.
Yes, I agree. Let's do it. I'm all for it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here on this episode. And I think you enjoyed it. I know I did. I mean, I believe you did. So leave us your comments and let us know what you think. And also give this a try. Until I see you next time, I hope you create magic and miracles in your life.